How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Wish ContextLogic stock. I know it's been a minute, but I wanted to make sure I give you guys an update. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is the technical analysis. We want to know support, we want to know resistance, and what are we looking forward to going into next week. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information and as well as the recent institutional ownership. In regards to the short interest, does Wish continue to have short squeeze potential? We're going to be finding out. And then afterwards, we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. Where institutions loading up on shares today, we're going to figure that out as well because that does have an impact on the stock price, and we want to make sure we're prepared for next week. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more key details. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Wish. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $6.94, being up 4.20%. On the low, it tested $6.68, and then on the high, testing $7.17. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see that we traded at 30.667 million shares, and as far as for the average volume over 10 trading days, being at 44.813 million shares. So even though we had below average volume, we still ended up seeing some strength in the stock price, which was good. So now, as far as what we're going to be taking a look at is the RSI down below, and then it's right around 49.51. You guys are already fully aware that Wish has been beaten down quite a bit. So one of the good things that I love about this stock is that yes, we are definitely looking primed and looking bullish going into next week. We already know we have a big time gap fill over here. So pretty much where we're at right here around $7.84 to fill in that gap right here around $9.34. We can get to these particular areas if we end up having a lot of volume coming into the stock and there's a lot of buying pressure. So that's just one thing to understand. But one thing that we could see clearly, we did end up testing $7.17 on the day. So if we can go into next week and pass this high that we actually had today, then the next level I'm going to be looking out for will be right here around $7.42. So if we can get to this $7.42 level and use it as an area of support and have some consolidation in this area, this will definitely be a good look for Wish, and then we can look forward to seeing that move going to $7.81 and then reaching the psychological area here, right here around $8. I feel if it gets to the $8 level and can hold up there, it's going to start bringing in a lot of attention from traders because again, the setup is looking good, and it also will be a lot nearer to as far as filling in that gap. So let's see what happens going into next week too. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for Wish. Scrolling down on the page, you can see green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So as far as for August of 26, we have BlackRock, Advantage Global that ended up closing their position, and we also have Covalis Capital that ended up closing their position as well. Prior to that though, we do have some institutions who have loaded up, as you can see Morgan Stanley that went in purchasing 1.8 million shares. Fairly sizable position right there, and you guys could also see the rest here. As far as a big position to actually take notice of is right here, Bluefin Capital Management on the 18th. So now when we take a look at the short interest information, scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 8.7 million, updated 14 minutes ago, and for the short ball free rate, it is at 0.75%. Now when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 24th, it was at 42.56. The close for the 25th, it was at 50.94. And then the close for yesterday, it was at 51.01. 1. So Wish definitely has a lot of short squeeze potential, and it's part of the reasons why I was saying if we have a lot of volume coming into this stock, we could see a strong move to the upside, especially since we know it has a big time gap that needs to be filled. So definitely keep this on your watch list because I'm looking forward to seeing how well it performs for next week. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Wish. So we can see here on the inflow it is at 42.97, and then on the outflow it is at 46.34. So we end up having an outflow day. So on the large we had 1.86, and this is on the outflow side. As far as for the medium, it was 33.10. This is on the inflow side. And then on the small, it was at 9.87. Now, when we take a look at the outflow side, on the medium, we had 33.04. And then on the small, we had 11.44. Now, when we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for the past 5 trading days, 3 of them were outflow days. So taking this into consideration, I'm looking forward to seeing Wish bring in some more inflows into next week so we can start seeing some appreciation in the overall stock price. It has been beaten up quite a bit ever since it released some earnings, but we do know there is potential inside of this play, especially looking at the technicals and also the potential for the gap fill. But I'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some details that I want to share with you guys. So for my final thoughts for Wish stock, I am seeing upside in this play going into next week. Part of the reasons being is, yes, that technical setup is something you just cannot ignore. And also as far as for the downside is concerned, I don't see much risk there. Now, as far as when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short volume ratio, I just checked just now on my phone, it is around 45%. And then on the previous day, it was around like 50%. So it went down a little bit, but I still do believe there is short squeeze potential inside of this play because we normally look for 21% or higher, and Wish is in this category. For anyone that wants to invest for the long term, of course you want to make sure you're using your dollar cost averaging approach. At these current prices, if you were buying in Wish a while back, I'm pretty sure you have an opportunity where you can average down. So make sure you do your homework and you do your due diligence to make sure that you are comfortable with that. I want to make sure I really emphasize that because at the end of the day, if you believe in it in the long term and seeing where the price point is, like I said, there's really not that much risk left. And of course, we have to look out for the next earnings report. Like I said, if you believe in the long term. As far as for the trading aspect of it, what I'm seeing in the short and as well as in the medium term, I want to see that gap fill. I am very determined to get it. I've seen a lot of stocks that ended up getting beaten down after earnings. A lot of them have made recoveries, and I want to see the same thing happen to Wish. And no matter how much time it might take, that's why I'm saying, well, you know what? Let's look forward to at least within the next 2 months, preferably. If it doesn't happen, that is okay. But as far as technicals are concerned, there's no reason why I shouldn't go back into the $7 range and gain some momentum from there. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.